on tenterhooks at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time?
Absolutely, Caroline. Clearly, Jensen will have a lot that he can talk about and share with his investor base, and because he has a lot of good stories to tell. The AI demand is not abating. In fact, that news from Microsoft last week shows how much more there is to be spent. And Jensen's talk will likely also hit plenty of other companies that are more and more involved now in rolling out AI applications, whether it's in robotics or autos or digital twins or elsewhere.
Just talk about how Nvidia itself can own that. What's been so phenomenal is the way in which you're sort of getting vertical integration. They can offer you, of course, the hardware, but he's right me selling you the software, like a one-stop shop. How does he continue to iterate that into the era of, well, apps and of course, agents?
Yeah, so it was been a long time coming. The development of the Nvidia specific software for building computational models called CUDA. He's been working on that for decades, and it's now fully integrated into the hardware, and that creates a really deep moat, which is why it's awfully hard for other companies to break into this space. Not that we won't see them. We're going to see AMD. We're going to see more and more in-house, but it creates a really strong platform for Nvidia, and we expect tonight that he'll talk more about how he's going to roll out more data centers to run AI models for other folks. So he's not going to be content, I think, to stick just with the hardware and the software. I think he wants to get into services to some extent. And it's not been something that Nvidia has shied away from in the past, that is competing with its customers.
What new are you hoping to see when it comes to applications? When it comes to robotics, you just mentioned it, for example.
Yeah, so CES is always full of dreamware as well as reality, and so it's always fun to see what small and large companies roll out. But robotics is clearly an area for growth that's more near term. We already see plenty of robotics, but they need to become smarter. They need to become more physically adept and graceful. And we think AI can really help in sensing the environment and responding to it. But another area that's a little bit more overlooked is digital twins. This is when you build a model to replicate something in the real physical world, and you use that model to save on cost, to improve design, whether that's a product, whether it's a building, whether it's infrastructure. And we think AI can really inform and make that a whole lot more efficient and improve designs. We own a company called Bentley Systems, for example. It provides software for management and development of construction, and projects in the infrastructure space. So that's an example of a company that could be a growing beneficiary of the infiltration of AI into that area.
We love how you bring up individual names. And of course, you do have exposure to Nvidia, but you also mentioned AMD. There is the Amazon and even Broadcom in your portfolio. Who else wins when it comes to what has just been the Nvidia ride?
Well, Nvidia clearly and AMD, providing those chips. Broadcom we have owned for a very long time. And as they continue to acquire and build new capabilities, we think that's going to continue to be a really strong player in this space, and has a lot more room for the valuation to improve. And beyond that, look in new applications in healthcare, for example, companies that provide new ways to monitor personal health. So software leveraged to healthcare, new medical devices from, for example, Medtronic, that will bring more and more smarter analytics. And then in industrials, whether it's that infrastructure build or, software to oversee agricultural developments, that sort of thing. So, there are a lot of opportunities. We do like those big names, Microsoft, Amazon, because not only does it have Amazon Web Services, but online retail is still gaining share. So there's still, a lot of opportunities out in the tech space for continued growth this year.